This Icon podcast is hosted and sponsored by Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistants, a leading provider for your virtual assistants and outsourcing needs. Owned by one of the top-ranking EXP agents, Justin Nelson. Sphere Rocket VA provides a one-stop virtual staffing solution for business owners, and we specialize in helping business owners grow their business by leveraging through virtual assistants. Trusted by the top names in the real estate industry like Kyle Whistle, Andrew Franklin, John Kitchens, and many more. Get ready to up your success and we'll help you achieve your business goals. Book your free consultation at sphererocketva.com and find out how we can make your life easier.
What's up? Welcome back to another episode of the Icon podcast. I think we've got an incredible show ahead of us. Help me welcome Jeff to the show. Thanks for taking the time.
Great. Thank you. Yeah, no, I just found out I got a new goal for this year.
And what's that?
To make your intro, right?
Isn't that sweet?
There's other, it's a game of how do you rank, right? So
a little plug for my VAs there. They made all of that, the music and everything. And then back from my radio days, actually, I reached out to an old radio friend to do that voiceover for us. But other than that,
it's great. Yeah, no, it's a great intro. I loved it.
Thank you, Jeff. So Jeff, tell us about yourself. Introduce yourself to the listeners. Who are you? Where are you from? How'd you become a real estate agent?
Yeah.
Loaded question.
I got my license now 20 years ago. So since then, I've sold $3 billion worth of real estate. Last year, our team did almost 400 million. We sold a little over 700 houses. I got to real estate because I like to help people, I guess, is ultimately why I got into the business. And I realized I could make money while I helped people. And really, that's just what has led to my success, is just because that's all. I mean, really, selling houses is essentially just helping someone move from one house to the other house, right?
Yeah.
I mean, now I guess NAR announced we're going to sell 5.13 million houses. So lots of opportunity. You got 10 million opportunities to help somebody move from one house to the other. You're just trying to get picked out of the 1.7 million agents. Mm-hmm. So it's a big game of musical chairs.
Right. Absolutely. And Jeff, how did you get introduced to EXP? Was it your first brokerage? How did you break up with a brokerage?
Oh, I got fired.
From where?
From my old brokerage.
Well, then why'd you come to EXP? What made you?
Because they wanted me. I don't know. It's I'm very confident in the ways that I help people learn how to sell houses, and I like to share it. And the company seemed on a path of wanting to recruit agents that did not sell a lot of houses, because that was a better business model, I think. And I in the understanding that that's not the way they pitched it, but the reality was the old brokerage just was focused on recruiting people that didn't sell a lot of houses because they still made a lot of money. Sure. The broker made money. It just didn't. The agents didn't benefit. So when I left the old brokerage, I wanted to go somewhere where the agents benefited a lot. And Fortunately, in 2019, we evaluated all the possible options. We talked to Compass. They were wanting us to maybe start a new branch here, and anyway, we chose EXP because we thought it was the best single opportunity for agents. How to, the way I like to say it is, the evolution of an agent can happen while at EXP, meaning you can sell houses, become a team leader, invest, become a team business owner, right? Like the life of an agent comes full circle at EXP because it allows for growth beyond the other options. So
right. Okay, awesome. I love that. Great, aspect on like the full circle. And, you said too that EXP has a lot of great options for agents. We have rev share, stock options, what else do we have that I was collaboration. And so that being said, now that you're over here at EXP, you interviewed several brokerages to see which was the right fit for you, which had the most benefits for agents. So what is your favorite benefit of EXP, or maybe something that you didn't expect about EXP that now you really like about the brokerage?
I just like that it's a great brokerage. I mean, it's it's
You're shooting me straight. I love it.
well, we focus on helping people sell houses. So
Right.
we just needed the brokerage to run good brokerage services, like like when we need to get paid and when we need to process checks and we need to get credit for sales, and they're just it's a better brokerage than I was at previously. I mean, I was at, I think, 2 or 3 different brokerages, and this one's the best so far. I mean, there's a lot of people that like to talk about EXP and it's why it's bad, and I just haven't found those yet.
Awesome. Yeah, you're right. And we'll dive into that later. Brokerages coming at EXP like, oh, they're a pyramid scheme, they're a cult. But before we get there, Jeff, tell me a little
bit. For sure. There's no doubt about the cult. Like, just not that's not a bad thing.
Right.
The cult is that the way Phil said it on our podcast yesterday, I think he said it great. He said, incentivized collaboration.
I'm trying to find a note card to quote you on my social media for that. But Jeff,
incentivized collaboration. I mean, we help people build wealth through real estate.
Absolutely. No, I love that. And you're right. And, longevity and, possibility to retire. And
no, hold on, Gianna. Not possibility, right? At agenttruth.com, we help people build a net worth of $5 million. Right? The question is why aren't you do you want a net worth of $5 million?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Are you an agent?
Yeah.
You qualify, right? I'm not kidding. So what it is agents helping agents. Like, we're just trying to help agents build wealth through learning to build wealth through real estate. I'm sure that obviously you're a new agent. No one's talked to you about this because I can tell how you're, not familiar with it. Maybe. Is that true?
Right. No, yeah.
Go ahead.
When you're 24, real estate is exciting because of big commission checks, but also you're 24, you're like, retirement, I don't even need to stress about that right now. Like, that's not for forever, but really that should be a priority, right?
Well, I'm just more of the better that want people to not make the mistake. The thing is you have the opportunity to grow more wealth, substantially more wealth, if you take the right steps early. I know there's a thing I learned a long time ago is when a plane takes off, its trajectory is determined by the angle that it takes, whether it ends up in Miami or in New York, and that's going to be a different experience. But the starting to invest early in real estate, because you got a license, you get paid when you buy a house. It's almost your down payment, 3% of, let's say you're buying a $300,000 house, you're getting a check for $10,000, John. That's FHA down payment, right? If you can scrap up a few other grand, like, you should be buying houses for yourself. I mean, it's what we're talking about. Agent Truth every day is the idea is that we want to help people sell more, own more, and earn more, right? Just basic, really simple.
And then do you do like the house hacking where you use that FHA and then go live there for a year, or are there different options?
I'm not looking for fancy names. We don't have to call it house hacking. It doesn't need a fancy, fancy names usually end in pyramid schemes, right? Just in the, you're going to buy a house, you're going to live in it for 2 years, then you're going to rent the house, you're going to manage it yourself, and you're going to save a lot of money. But the thing is because the reason we're doing it is because brokers don't teach this, but yet they're in charge of teaching you about real estate. So we're going to help out Glenn and the boys, right? Like we're going to help them out and help them realize that the best way, you know, one of the things that we're not pointing out enough is we want to help agents build wealth through real estate. I mean, do you want to retire sooner or later, Gianna?
Sooner.
Right. So, you know, it's crazy to think that, because really, don't we want to own the houses and rent them out?
Absolutely.
Passive income is, I mean, everybody comes to EXP for passive income, but yet, you know, it's not a cut to EXP, but you're tied to EXP with just the EXP wealth building strategy, right? So we feel that everybody should have a wealth building strategy that's broker agnostic. We believe the best option to be at EXP is because it is the best broker. We're here for the brokerage services. Don't let me mislead you.
Right.
I'm here for the wealth building as well, but I just don't want to put, you know, I want to teach people what is the best option for them. And since you understand real estate, we want to talk about owning real estate. And yeah.
Absolutely. And Jeff, you know, when it comes, I mean, you're obviously busy. You have a lot of production. You're looking at wealth, passive income, etc. But before we dive into all things Icon and more production, let's talk about Jeff, right? So, how do you set a boundary between work and play? Is that something that you incorporate into your life? Do you have a work-life balance? Do you believe in that stuff? Where do you stand on that, and how do you recharge?
Yeah, I mean, I made a business decision in 2012 that, you know, there was just a certain point in my career, once I've been in it 10 years, that I really had taken a acuity, I don't know if that's a word, but an acute study of real estate and development. And I realized that I was decent at it, right? And that I would rather focus on helping agents learn, but also then my phone doesn't ring after 5 o'clock unless I want it to, right?
Yeah.
Like the thing is it's called burnout. And what happens when you sell a lot of houses, those people complain to you, not during the bull run that we had, but just the amount of customers can wear one down. So to keep a positive, right, after doing it for 10 years, I realized that for me to last longer, because the average peak and valley of a realtor is typically about 3 to 5 years, because they burn out. And I want to teach people a way, and that's why we're driving wealth, is because then that keeps you from burnout, because you can have a little more of a lifestyle business, right? You can become a business owner and you can make good decisions, because you're you know, when you're answering phone calls at 5:30, 6:30, 7:30, 8:30, 9:30, 10:30 every night from people yelling at you, it can depress you.
Right.
And building a model which allows that to not overcome you is a challenge. It's why we created Agent Truth, because there is a way, but you have to stay calm, right? No, but you have to, to me, it's building a business. It's learning to build a business that services all of the clients' needs. And I mean, it's hard because we got to create a lot of video training, and that's difficult to produce, is video training. So, but then the life is pretty good, because you know, I mean, this week or this year, I got to visit Europe for 9 days, right? We're going to California for 9 days, right? Going to Vegas, we're going to Cabo, right? Like the things
And
is,
Jeff, how can you be so confident stepping away from your business?
it's called a business, right? You own a business, and you're trying to operate a business, but it's what we're all striving to create, and I'm getting better at it. But, you know, fortunately, there's tough choices along the way, and you have to give up income when you give up responsibility. And but you know, it's fun.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And I think that's an awesome work-life balance, right? And you talked about recharging and burnout. It could take up to 2 years to recover from burnout. So that is something important to be conscious of in this industry. And Jeff, let's talk all things production now. When it comes to iconing, we're going to dive into the award a little bit. So you're out in Scottsdale, Arizona. And what does that average housing price look like for you out there in Scottsdale? And about how many houses do you have to sell to be able to cap that $16,000 cap?
The average sales price in the Valley last year was about 500,000. Our average sales price was 600,000. So prices have risen substantially, right? Because when I got in the market, the average price, I think, was a shade under 300,000. That's why I want you to own houses, because if you own them, then you've made money. Logic. I know it's really weird, but the idea is that, at 500,000, we sold about 700. That, it leads to 392 million is what the numbers work out to be. We capped out this year. I think it took us 23 days to cap out, right? To get to Icon.
Yeah.
I think. No. That was capping out. Capping out was the 16,000. Because is that Icon too? No, it's 35 transact. I don't know what that.
So Icon
usually about a month and a half is something like that. Is what,
you gotta hit your cap and then 20 transactions after that. So you're right.
Yeah, it might have been the first month or month and a half. Yeah, because we're doing in roughly 50 transactions a month, so that would get there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then Jeff, iconing is more than just production, right? Sounds like you are already like a mentor and coach when it comes to more passive income for agents. But what route do you choose to fulfill that cultural commitment when it comes to being an icon agent?
Well, we have 37 agents in our new agent training program. I speak, fortunately, I got an award last year on stage at EXP. So, I'm in good graces with the great Curtis Dixon, right? So we offer training to fulfill that. It's easy. We go to the events. We go to the Icon events, right? Like we spoke at the last couple. If they, it's something everybody wants to do, and sometimes we get picked. It's great.
Yeah, I love that.
We love teaching.
Yeah, of course. It's what contributes so well to the morale and the culture at EXP. And the next part is going to be, you get so many benefits for being an icon agent. You get that elite status. It's easy to catch referrals, a big glass shiny trophy, the opportunity to earn your cap back in stock. So what's your favorite part about iconing? Why do you set that on your list of goals every year? Because it's more than just selling houses and getting commission. You've got to take time to give back to EXP. It's got requirements. So why do you keep shooting for it?
I don't shoot for it. It just happens. It's the bar is really low. So to me, Icon is more impactful than the current status. Like when I think Icon, I think of a Grant Cardone. I think of a Dan Beer. I think of, people that are elite, in their industry. And, I get it that we want everybody to feel, there should be other levels. That's all. I think it's coming. It's just, we're a newer company, and, we're catching up on the recognition, and, I have full confidence in our executive team. They're working on things that are more important, because agent recognition is not as important as, doing better for the consumer. So
sure. Absolutely. And Jeff, when it comes to, you're a coach. So when it comes to either rookies or people that are doing that high of level of production and other brokerages, and they just came over to EXP, and they come to you and they say, Jeff, I would like to icon in my first year. And off camera, we talked a little bit about how you have icon agents that have done so in their first year. So how did they go about that process? How would you you can give a teaser on how you would coach them through that? Or
overcoming fear, right? Education, I think the world of real estate makes home selling seem a lot easier, right? And I alluded to that in the beginning of what it is. It's a lot of hard work, and you have to connect with people, and you have to take action, and you have to, help them achieve their goals. But that means all action steps. That means, reaching them, having conversations with them, being a valuable. I think realtors in today's market have a struggle with the word value. They don't understand what their value is in offering to buyers and sellers. I guess it's harder than it looks to really appreciate you doing a great job, meaning high level of customer service for an individual seller or buyer is, it's because you gotta kind of be selfless as an agent. You have to give up your preferences and the things that you want and put their interests first. And when you put their interests first and actually go get it for them, you're servicing them. And to service someone, it's kind of like a waiter. Is they sit there and you go get the food, right? Like, to me, that's broken now in the industry, where the client looks for the house themselves, which is actually used to be the realtor's job, and now we're mad because they don't come back to us when they want to buy that food, because right, like, I hate to be simple, but it's what's happening in the industry. Is I just want the check.
Yeah, absolutely. And people can smell when you're money hungry, right? Versus wanting to help them. Yeah,
actually, I think the agents are getting better at snowballing people, because they, we all want it to be easier, right? We all want it to be easier. I want it to be easier. I'm just willing to, if you put the client's needs ahead of you, you're going to win more deals.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, you're right. And, it's a business of selling homes, but more so it's a people-centric business. You have to listen. You have to be a good salesman. And to do that, you just got to listen and know your clients' wants and needs, and they've got to know, like, and trust you.
Yeah, no, it's funny because that's the most common question that we get. What do I say? Well, if you don't know what to say, that means that you don't know what your client wants. The answer is just ask them and then defend them. I mean, it's the simple form of agency.
Yeah, absolutely. And Jeff, moving on from that, let's talk a little bit about your experience with EXP. Were you ever skeptical of EXP?
Always. Yes. Always. Very. No, I was, it was presented to me, it's the negativity that surrounds the EXP and all the recruiting, is because it creates anxiety around this company when, it makes you skeptical, because you're like, why is everybody like, oh my God, am I going to get there and not be able to sell houses? Is the way I felt. I was legitimately scared, because all my agents were talking to other agents. Everybody, like, there's this bad, I don't understand the rap, because we just help people. I mean, we're selling a couple of $1 billion worth of houses every year. Like, it's just a company that helps people buy and sell houses.
Yeah, you're right. And so, when people are looking to come over to EXP, say somebody's watching right now and they're skeptical of it, right? Because of brokers saying bad things, or, anything else that's floating around in the industry. What would you have to say to somebody right now that wants to make the jump? They're scared to cut the cord, all the excuses that they can come up with. What would you say to kind of light a fire under them to make that jump and just do it already?
Yeah. I mean, my thing is, I've increased my net worth by multiple 7 figures since joining EXP. You can too. The water's warm. Like, come on over. Like, what? There's more opportunity here than any other brokerage. No matter what they say, there's more opportunity here. I mean, they're giving half of their money back to the agents.
Right.
Is the brokerage where you're at giving half of their revenue back to the agents? No. Okay.
Right. Yeah. No, you're absolutely right.
Like, just come over and sell some houses, and it's going to be great.
I know. And ask your broker right now that you're at, how do I get my cap back? They're going to laugh at you, right? So at EXP, you're presented with that opportunity. There's a lot of streams for income over here. And Jeff, we're coming up on over 25 minutes. Those are all my questions for you. I think it's been an awesome, very insightful episode. Do you have anything that you want to leave the listeners with as we wrap up today?
No, come sell houses. It's great over here. I mean, we're dealing with the declining market at this point, but we're still selling a lot of houses. Everything is, I mean, it's better than, I think EXP is better than advertised. And I would like to show anyone how that is and help them build wealth, right? By visiting Agent Truth and helping them buy houses. And because you know what, when you're more wealthy, you're happier.
That's right. You're right.
Money doesn't make you happy, but it does help resolve some of the things that depress you.
Right. Okay, you're right. You're not wrong, Jeff. Are you going to be at EXP Con?
Am I going to be at EXP Con? Is that the one in July or the?
October.
I am planning for the October or November event, whatever one that is. Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Well, good.
We're going to be bringing guests. We're going to bring more guests. Yes.
Awesome.
So. We're trying like hell.
That's great. That's great. Jeff, let me know when you want to do another podcast, either with yours or mine. And I think this has been an awesome episode. I'm going to see you in Vegas. Yes.
Appreciate you. Have a great day.
You too.
Happy Wednesday. Take care, hon.
Happy Wednesday. Bye, Jeff.
Bye.
This Icon podcast is hosted and sponsored by Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistants, a leading provider for your virtual assistants and outsourcing needs. Owned by one of the top-ranking EXP agents, Justin Nelson. Sphere Rocket VA provides a one-stop virtual staffing solution for business owners, and we specialize in helping business owners grow their business by leveraging through virtual assistants. Trusted by the top names in the real estate industry like Kyle Whistle, Andrew Franklin, John Kitchens, and many more. Get ready to up your success and we'll help you achieve your business goals. Book your free consultation at sphererocketva.com and find out how we can make your life easier.